When Sleepy Hollow ended, I made it clear how unhappy I was. If Buffy the Vampire Slayer paved the way for kick-ass white women in sci-fi and fantasy, then Abby Mills on Sleepy Hollow did that for black women.
You brought Roots to a sword fight.
The show debuted in 2013, and in the following years, speculative fiction shows with black women lead stars have been popping up. You had Z Nation, the now cancelled Extent, Killjoys, the now cancelled Minority Report, and Crazy Heads. I want to talk about Z Nation because this show has gone under my radar for many reasons, and I may not have gone back to watch it if not for Sleepy Hollow tanking itself. So I heard about Z Nation when it first came out in 2014, and it sounded interesting. A horror comedy set in the zombie apocalypse, a group of survivors are tasked with protecting humanity's last hope for a cure, the one man who was able to survive a zombie bite due to a vaccine. Now at the time, the post-apocalyptic dystopian subgenre was gaining popularity on TV and film with shows like The Walking Dead, Falling Skies, Revolution, and a few others. Z Nation caught my eye because it was a horror comedy. So I was like, okay, cool, something different. I like Zombieland, Shaun of the Dead, the Evil Dead series, Tucker and Dale, all that. I love horror comedy. So I gave the pilot a try. The pilot for Z Nation just didn't grab my attention. I never really laughed. The jokes weren't hitting it with me. I just wasn't really feeling it. Plus, that final scene with the zombie baby pissed me off. Like, this baby looks like 5 months old, but it's super fast, super strong, and has teeth. Why does a 5-month-old baby have teeth? You telling me the army guy, with all his training and stuff, probably ran through a whole host of fast adult zombies, was overpowered by a skitting around little baby zombie? Really?
Here, baby. Here, baby, baby.
That was dumb. Okay, that was just, yeah, I had to clock out. Another thing to add. You ever notice that within this subgenre, that the main character all kind of look alike? Like, grizzled, middle-aged looking white man that's supposed to be the everyman who we can all relate to. Like, it's becoming like a common thing to have the main character of a dystopian type of show look like this. So it was being a bit too familiar. I mean, one of my friends was calling the main guy Charles Garnett, not Rick. This guy is not Rick, or Rick Jr. That's what we were calling him when we were first watching the pilot. So between that, the baby, and the stale jokes, I was cool not watching the rest. But then Sleepy Hollow Season 3 happened. And my friend was getting tired of me complaining about how Sleepy Hollow messed up with the final episode. So she said, you need to watch Z Nation. And I was like, the zombie baby show, nah, I'm good. But then she sent me the promo poster for Season 2. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute, because all the promo I saw for Season 1 looked like this. But now, in Season 2, Kalita Smith, the actress, right there, front and center, clearly the leader of the group. And actor placement is everything when it comes to a promo photo, because that is how we, the audience, know who the lead is. I had to admit, my curiosity was piqued. I was intrigued now. So I go back and watch episode 2 of Season 1, and then 3 and 4, and I enjoyed it. It was funnier, it was better than the pilot episode. You can see they were now finding their stride, you know. Z Nation is a silly show, and they know that they are a silly show. They embrace their cheesy B-movie aesthetic like, so my thing.
Presenting George R.R. Martin.
Who the hell's that?
He wrote A Song of Ice and Fire.
With this show, you get all types of zombies. You get the slow ones, the fast ones, animal zombies, radioactive zombies, yeah, like if you blow them up, then boom, like it's bad. You get zombie strippers and a fucking zombie tornado. But what else can you expect from the people that brought us the Sharknado series, which happens to be in the same universe as Z Nation?
Is that what I think?
Hey, sharks!
I finally made it to the midway point of season 1, and I was shocked, just plain shocked at what happened. And then I realized what Syfy, what the writers of Z Nation, what Asylum had did. So, Charles Garnett, the not Rick, the archetype everyman character that, we had grown to like, he was killed off. He was killed off. And now, Roberta Warren, Kalita Smith's character, was the leader. Yeah. Then it dawned on me that during the opening credits for Z Nation, that Kalita Smith's name was the first one to appear, meaning that she was always supposed to be the lead character. Warren was the lead from the start, and Garnett was just killed off for Warren's character development, meaning that Syfy, the Z Nation writers, the Asylum, they just pulled off a bait and switch in the reverse. They did the opposite of what Sleepy Hollow did.
Shit just got real.
Yeah, considering what Sleepy Hollow did, this was more than welcomed. I pretty much finished the rest of season 1 in one day, just binge watched it all the way through. And this show is funny and silly and crazy as fuck. But for all its cheesy moments, and I do mean cheesy moments, it can also be quite sweet. The crazy moments are what makes the sweet and emotional and heartfelt moments stand out all the more. I pretty much like all of the characters apart from Murphy. I mean, he has his moments sometimes, but he's just a fool, let's face it.
You are the leader. You're a natural. And you have a wisdom. But it's born of loss.
Now, Miss Roberta Warren is a boss. She's strong, she's smart, she's just a good leader. And she just runs her team so well, and they're super loyal in return. She keeps Murphy in check, which is great.
You are not the boss of me. She is.
I can handle this. Move.
Gladly.
But for all her strength, what I love about her is that she's able to be vulnerable and show frustration, especially when it came to dealing with the fate of her husband, not knowing whether he turned into a zombie or not, or he died beforehand, and dealing with the death of Garnett, mourning a relationship that was over right when it began.
We have to go.
No, we can't let him turn. No, I have to give him mercy.
Let's go.
No, let me go. No, wait a minute. No, wait.
Plus, her weave stays looking nice in these dystopian conditions, so work. Then there is Addie, Warren's second in command. I didn't think she would become second in command. I didn't think so. I didn't think they would have a woman leader and a woman second leader. But yeah, I love her. She has easily the best weapon out of the bunch. A spiked metal bat that resembles a medieval morningstar. And I have always said that bludgeoning weapons are ideal against zombies. They're just the best. Bludgeoning weapons. What else would you use? Addie is also bisexual. At the start, she's in a relationship with Matt. Then later on, she has a brief little fling with a woman, and neither of them die, avoiding the whole bury your gays trope, which was very popular this year. Although their kiss was cut from the episode, so... Then there's Doc. He's the white mage of the team, and he is just the sweetest, kindest, drug-dealing, former psychologist, stoner, father figure ever. Like, he's the best. He's also the comic relief of the group. And like, in a show like this, do you even need a comic relief?
Holy acid flashback, man.
Of course you do, and his name is Doc. I like to think of him as an older version of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. It just works that he was doing the whole Scooby-Doo thing, and then Sharknado happened, and then the zombie apocalypse happened. It just makes sense in my head and in this show. I love Doc. He's the best.
Hey! Hey there! You're that sharpshooter that saved my ass, aren't you? Oh, man, I want to thank you. Do you need a ride?
$10K, my sweet winter child. I love him. He's the youngest of the group, and he's a sniper. And what I like about this kid right here is that even though he's young, like around 19, 18 or something, he doesn't act in a irrational and impulsive way that puts the group in danger. Unlike someone else who acts like a stroppy little man-child that's on a different show. 10K looks out for the team. He's resourceful, and he pretty much won me over as soon as he appeared with his homemade shoe sole armor and the slingshot and the goggles. He looked like it was just pure genius. I love him. Now we move on to the not so great. Cassandra. I really, really like Cassandra, but I hate what happened to her character. You take this really cool Thai woman who was a survivor of a crazy cult that forced her into this type of sex trafficking honeypot role so she can lure in unsuspecting John so they could be cannibalized.
You forget. I'm used to it.
Cassandra managed to survive all of that and become a valued and important part of the team, only to become a semi-zombie servant to Murphy. She does everything he says, including dressing up in some skimpy clothing and heels and giving him the occasional foot rub. Like, do I even need to explain why this is so fucked up? Rarely do we see Asian women in this genre either, so seeing Cassandra reduced to this was a big fucking no. And I was so glad when she was killed by 10K. I was like, thank you, please put her out of her misery. It's so sad. I kind of shipped you two. This is not good. No. This was also the reason why my neutral attitude towards Murphy turned into hate. I didn't like seeing him having total control over Cassandra, especially with her backstory being what it was. Now I can only hope that this new character, Sun Mei, who seems very cool, doesn't suffer the same fate. There's also Citizen Z, who lives all the way up in the Arctic, so I always forget about him because he's isolated from everybody else, but he's alright, I suppose. Like, you know, he's okay. Overall, Z Nation is good. I like it. I'm looking forward to see where season 3 takes us. I'm currently enjoying that now. The show has its ups and its downs, but it's good. It's fun. It's weird. It doesn't leave you feeling sad at the end. If you're looking for something more light-hearted to cheer you up with all these grim dark shows, then Z Nation's for you. Especially if you like horror comedy. Like, I watched this and I watched Ash versus the Evil Dead. It's good. Until next time.